Many of you have asked me to do another unsearched wheat penny rolls bought from eBay video, so I thought I would go ahead and do one. Hey everybody, it's Rob with RobFindsTreasure, and we've got wheat penny rolls bought from eBay video to do today. I actually want to try another seller. So the seller is US Penny Collection. They've got pretty good feedback. With 1,000 sales, all it takes is a couple not to go very well, and you know how it goes. But still, I thought that this ad was intriguing for a couple of reasons. They mentioned that there's been a 1909S key date penny found. Thought that was cool. The feedback looks pretty good. I've checked the real feedback, not just what they cut and paste inside their description. But here's what got me intrigued about it. They talk about how it's hard to find the elusive unsearched wheat pennies, and they're not saying these are unsearched. They're saying they're selling professionally and tightly crimped ends on the old wrappers as you see in the picture. But basically, they do a couple of things. They get wheat penny rolls and bags from a great hoard of accumulated searched bags, partial sets, year rolls, inherited coin collections, and you get all the three mints. They also crack open multiple problem-free, professionally graded holders, and they sweeten the pot with these. So that's what kind of got me excited. You know, they're not making a bunch of claims saying that these are truly unsearched and like that. They're basically saying, yes, you're going to get rolls that we put together, but we are sweetening up the lots with potentially uncovering some of these other cracked open slabbed coins that you might get. So because of that, I thought it was cool. And let's face it, people buy these all the time, and I think people get a little bit frustrated when they buy a lot of 2 rolls, paying $30, and why wouldn't you, and only getting 30s and 20s. So, or a bunch of 18s and 19s. Now, I wanted to be fair, so instead of just buying one lot of 2, I bought 2 different lots. I also let them know that I'd be opening these rolls on my channel, and we'll see if that means anything. I doubt it. I'm sure these are already pre-made ahead of time as lots, and then they just grab a couple from the bin and send them out. Still, 90% of the people said they would buy again, so I figured pretty good feedback. Let's see what's in there. Let me go ahead and get these out of the packaging and lay the 4 rolls out and take a closer look at what the wheat penny rolls look like. All right, we've got the rolls out. Notice first and foremost, they've got their sticker on there, which is kind of cool. And they're the old-fashioned style rolls, but these look like they're remanufactured. Let's see what kind of enders we've got here. Looks like we have an older ender, 1926. I don't see a mint mark. And then we also have, I can't see it. We'll take a look at it in a second. We're just looking to see if we have any cool enders. There's a 39, pretty common. Expect to see a lot of those. And a 30-something. On the other 2, we got the back of one. And we've got, looks like another 1929 or a 26. And then finally the back of one and the back of one. So I think what I'll do is, since these was from the second lot, this is one lot, so we know that what each lot gets. Let me go ahead and crack this open. And what I will do is, if I find anything worth showing, I'll show it while I go through it. Otherwise, I'll stack them up by decade, and then I'll show you what we got in each roll. So roll number 1 was basically almost all 30s and 20s, mostly 30s. We did squeeze out a handful of teens, but they're all 18 and 119. The 2 finds of the first roll, we got a 1915D. It's not in terrible shape, but at least it's an early teens with a mint mark. And then we also got a 30S. I brought these out because they're under 25 million minted, and they're worth a little bit more than your average wheat cent. 1 roll down. Let's check out the other roll from lot 1. So after the first 100 pennies, or 2 rolls, looks like we have about 55 of them, or 55% from the 30s. 25 are from the 20s. A whole bunch of 1919s and 1918s. And so far in the first 2 rolls, we did score a 1910 Philadelphia, a 1913. Yeah, a 1913 Philadelphia. And then, of course, you guys saw it, a 15D and a 30S. That's basically the 4 best coins of the first lot. All right. Assuming more of the same in these two rolls, but let's take a look at them. So roll 3 was a little better. The finds of the roll was a 1913 Philadelphia, a 1914 Philadelphia, a 1915 Philadelphia, a 1916 Philadelphia, and another 1930S. You know, not too bad. No mint marks on the teens so far. We did get a couple of 18s and 19s with mint marks, but they're pretty trashed. So far, out of the 150 wheat pennies, we've got 80 of them, or just over half, still at that 55%, are from the 30s. We now have 45 from the 20s and some teens, and these are the key finds, if you will, in the first 3 rolls. Let's see if we can get something else in the final roll. I'm pretty excited, guys. I was going to wait to show you after this roll what the finds were, because I'd already found a 1917S. And don't get me wrong, a 17S is nice. It's good to have. I'll definitely take it for sure. But that's not why I bring you in. Unbelievable right here. I cannot believe this was in the roll. Let me show it to you first. Look at this. 1931S. In really great shape. A 1931S. Are you kidding me? Guys, this is not only one of the key dates. Look at that mintage. Other than a 1909 SVDB, this is the second lowest mintage in the wheat pennies. Second lowest mintage. And it's not in bad shape. That's a good date. That's a good strike. It's got some scuffs up here, which, you know what, I'll take. It's okay. Look at the back. Look at the detail on the wheat ears. This is a solid find. I'm thinking it's close. It's somewhere between very fine and extra fine for sure. So this is a $100 penny, no matter what. This is a $100 penny for sure. And thinking about that, I spent $30 or $15 a roll, $30 a lot. We already got our money back and then some in this one. Holy cow. We still got some of the roll to go. Let me set this to the side and let me go back through these and let you know what else I find. So a quick roundup of that last roll. A 1910 Philly, a 1912 Philly, a 1913 Philly, a 1916 Philly, a 1916 Denver, a 1917 S, a 1926D, and a 1931 S. In the best shape of the bunch. Let me get you a full wrap up and then what I think about this seller. So here's the wrap up, guys. We ended up with 201 pennies. Paid for 200, so we got an extra one in there. It happens. Teens, we got 41, with 13 that I consider better than what you would normally find coin roll hunting. In the 20s, we got 55. Only one I thought was really worth something more than you might find in a penny box. And in the 30s, we got 105. 3 were pretty decent. But man, at the end of the day, a 1931S. And I know I've said it a few times, but in this condition, that's pretty nice. I could not have asked for a nicer one, really. 866,000 of these minted, and when I see them online, they're either really great and they're slabbed, or they are worn pretty slick and barely decipherable. So that is definitely the find of the box. And at the end of the day, this seller to me, I mean, I got more than my money's worth. I got more total pennies than I paid for. I got what you'd expect in the mix. I mean, we got about 52% of that was 30s. And really, 160 of the 200, or 80%, was 20s and 30s. And then, of course, out of the 41 teens, the fact that we got in wrap up here a couple of 1910s, one 1912, three 1913s, one 1914, two 1915s, one's a D mint mark, three 1916s, one's a D mint mark, one 1917S. I mean, you really can't go wrong. This was actually a pretty good buy in my opinion. So definitely, I'll give them a shout out. I would definitely buy again from this seller, US Penny Collection. And especially when they claimed that they didn't have them unsearched, that they were from searched lots, that they sweetened the deal by cracking open some pennies from collections that they have found to make the buys worth it. They marked them up with a little bit of premium, obviously at $15, especially with the mix we got. But you know what? I know not everyone's going to score 1931S, but I did. Unbelievable. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this unsearched wheat penny rolls from an eBay seller video once again. If you did, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting. And thanks for watching.